Russian oligarchs bought huge portions of Trump properties, okay? Especially when he was down and out, and it helped him a lot. So he's still thinking about his own money. So one of our members wrote in, like, wait, how, if the Russian ruble is not worth anything anymore, which currently that's the state of affairs, how's Trump gonna get paid on some of those properties? So Trump is probably worried about his own finances. You think that guy's strong? He's pathetically weak, and he's at his weakest when talking about Russia and Putin. That's where he betrays himself, and you know he's not an alpha. The minute he's scared, you know, whether it was the podium when somebody, he thought somebody was gonna rush the stage, and he's like, ah!
No, it's not.
And the eagle in his office.
Or protesters outside of the White House.
Oh, and he goes and hides in a bunker.
Right, bunker boy.
And when it comes to Putin, he, like this, right?
No, but he's a strong man, everyone knows this.
Come on, guys. I mean, but the thing is that this is where I get so frustrated at the Democrats, because they don't fight back effectively. So a lot of Democrats and independents still think that Trump is strong. What have you done? You've had 6 years to prove, and you have all the evidence in the world that the man is a weakling, an insecure, thin-skinned weakling. And they're still talking about, oh, but he's a bad guy. But they already know he's a bad guy. That's what they like about him. You have to undercut his strength. What is wrong with you guys? And now to the point, look, Biden, how about Biden? Is he weak or strong? Well, we've shown you a lot of different ways that he's been weak here in America. Okay, oh, the Republican says something, I surrender, right? And he loves surrendering to Republicans. That's his favorite political tactic throughout his entire career. But credit where credit is due. On this, we were worried that he wasn't, initially the sanctions weren't tough enough. And then they acted. And SWIFT cut the Russians off from the rest of the world, that's the banking system, okay? And then they put sanctions on Putin, which Biden had not done in the beginning. And then he got, worked with allies against Switzerland and Monaco, where a lot of the Russian cash is hidden, to also act.
We're dealing with a nuclear power, okay? Like, we have, again, idiots in the United States who are calling for NATO to do some sort of military strike against Russia or Russian troops in Ukraine. That could spark a nuclear war. That is an incredibly belligerent and irresponsible thing to call for. So what do you want Biden to do? You want Biden to carry out some sort of attack like that really does put a lot more people at risk, right? It really would escalate the situation. No, but think about how Trump handled Kim Jong-un in the beginning, before they fell in love and started sending love letters to each other, literally. They were going back and forth about whose nuclear button was bigger. That was irresponsible, belligerent, and dangerous behavior. And luckily, it didn't escalate to something more than what we ended up with. Whatever, it's laughable that Trump fell in love with Kim Jong-un and vice versa, but I'll take that over a new possible escalation of war with North Korea. But remember, Trump is this kind of guy who just kind of flies by the seat of his pants. Is that what they say?
That's an unfortunate saying, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, one more thing about Trump and Biden. So on North Korea is a great example. So remember, when Trump wants to sound tough, he can sound tough. Before the love letters, he said, my nuclear button is larger than yours. So why isn't he saying that to Putin? North Korea also has nukes, also very, very dangerous. And he didn't mind threatening nuclear war with them at all, because he had no interest in North Korea. He has personal interest in Russia. So when it comes to Russia, he's like, Putin is a very lovely guy. I mean, if he says something, I instantly believe it. That's a weird starting point, especially for a guy as normally belligerent as Trump. So how did North Korea get him to fall in love? It's very easy. There's only 2 things that Trump cares about: his money and his ego. So once Kim Jong-un said, oh, you are a great leader, Trump was like, oh, am I? And that's why we're calling him love letters, because that's what Trump called them. And he said that they fell in love. All you have to do is and so to be fair to Trump in a hilarious way, maybe Putin didn't even pay him. Maybe he just told him, hey, your hair looks nice today. And Trump's like, oh my God, I'm in love. I will say nothing but nice things about you. Look at how pathetically weak that guy is. That's how insecure he is. Yeah. So there's no question that Trump is holding back from Russia, because when he doesn't hold back against political opponents, It is exceedingly obvious.